Building AI applications shouldn't require you to be a coding wizard. Yet, most developers spend more time debugging complex chains of AI codes than actually solving problems. And that's where LCEL, Language Chain Expression Language, comes in. Think of it as a drag and drop for AI workflows. Instead of writing hundreds of lines of tangled code, you connect visual blocks like puzzle pieces. LCEL is a domain-specific language developed by LangChain to simplify AI interactions using a visual block-based structure. And this new way of working with AI models reduces code complexity, making it easier to build smarter agents and efficient workflows. And for those aspiring for roles like AI engineer, data scientist, or cloud AI architect, LCEL is quickly becoming an essential skill. And in this video, we will take you through the basics of LCEL, LLM chains, and provide hands-on examples to show you how it allows you to structure AI outputs more effectively. And this is just a small part of what we cover in our AI/ML track program. Through our program, professionals like Debashish, Roshan, and many have landed high-paying jobs and top certifications in the field of AI and machine learning. We're also hosting a 90-minute free masterclass on AI/ML, GenAI, Agentic AI, and data science. So don't miss out on this golden opportunity to try to level up your skills. Register now through the link in the description below. So now let's dive into the video.
So LCEL is what? Nothing but a Python syntax, a new way of communicating with these models. Okay, so it's a domain-specific language created by LangChain, you can say, to interact with these models ultimately. It provides, so the main thing is it provides a more intuitive way. Less code, more intuitive. Okay, simple. So it's like a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. So that was the main motivation to create the LCEL language. So the focus should not be on the syntax and the Python code. Focus should be on the blocks, what is happening basically. So can I visualize these blocks? So each block becomes one component and you chain these components just by using a vertical pipe operator. Okay. And then this is one simple example of, LangChain chains, you can say. So runnable parallel, runnable sequence. So, you can run multiple chains in parallel and then later on merge, or you can also run these chains in a sequence, which is anyway the default behavior. Okay. So runnable pass-through will help us to pass variables into the prompt template. Pass variables into the prompt template. So let's say there is a prompt template and user. So you're back to the report generation. Okay. Report generation. So that the entire project has already got, let's say, created. Okay. Now you need a mechanism to just change the name of the topic. So in my previous discussion, the topic was on GenAI. That was the topic, let's say. Now I want to change this topic name and let's say want to make a quantum computing. So again, I'll have 3-point summary of quantum computing, pros and cons of quantum computing. So I just want to change the name of the topic, and that is done by runnable pass-through. We'll learn these things one by one. So runnable pass-through helps us to pass variables. So what is the variable here? Variable is the topic name. So here the variable would be the topic name. So just the topic name gets plugged in at the appropriate place and you just execute the same pipeline end to end. Okay. So you are just plugging the topic name where? Into the prompt template. And who does that? The runnable. Okay. So these are the advantages of using prompt templates, LCEL, LangChain at a high level, at least. Okay. Another, big advantage is that, so let me just show you how a chain would look like. So can you see this is a chain? So this chain has got 3 steps. One is the prompt, as you see. So this is nothing but a prompt template. Although the name says prompt, this is not a simple prompt. It could be a complete prompt template. Then this is our LLM, could be ChatGPT, Anthropic, Gemini, any LLM, and then the parser. So what is the purpose of the parser here? So the output of the LLM may be in a format like normal text, but the user wants the output in a specific format, let's say a JSON format or the CSV format or tabular format, whatever in simple terms. So you can attach an output parser which will take the raw input from the LLM and structure the output as the user wants. So three steps in that chain. You are passing that prompt. So can you see this vertical pipe? That is how you separate the steps. So there are three steps in that chain. So you're chaining three things. You're chaining the prompt with the LLM. The LLM's output is chained to the parser, and the parser's output is given back to the user. So you see, this is like WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. Okay. So everything, so this is my unified chain, and all I have to do is just do chain.invoke. That's it. Remember, chain.invoke, and whatever the user query will be given here, and that will automatically be passed to the prompt template. How? Via runnable pass-through. So this prompt template will be using runnable pass-through. I'll just provide the topic name here. Let's say that topic name automatically gets to the prompt template. So that prompt template will plug in, so generate the report in so and so format with these things. And just the topic name gets plugged in there. That elaborate prompt templates is now automatically given to the LLM. LLM gives the response in whatever format. My output parser, this parser is the output parser. So that will format the LLM's output in the user-defined format, user-defined or user-requested format. So that is how we go to the things. So you can invoke this entire chain in batch mode, streaming mode. Mostly by default, it is the entire batch. Batch means once the output from the parser is obtained. So LLM, so see, when you are invoking the chain, that topic name or the user query immediately goes to the prompt template. Prompt template immediately goes to the LLM. But LLM might take, let's say, 20 seconds to respond. So after 20 seconds, the output goes to the parser. Parser might take, let's say, 5 seconds to format the data. Okay. And so after, let's say, 25 seconds, you get the final output. So in a normal invoke method, the entire output will be visible to you at once, the entire output. If you want a streaming output, you see, if you want a streaming output, like token by token, okay, like what you see in ChatGPT interface or a Gemini interface, web interface, it shows gradually. So that is the streaming mode. So LangChain also has a streaming mode. Okay, so that is the beauty. You can do it in a batch mode, invoke mode, or streaming mode. Okay, invoke normally used for one user query, batch mode for multiple user queries. So imagine that I've got a list of 15 topics, and I don't want to use a for loop to keep changing the name of the topic while calling the chain. So one simple way is you do a for loop and call the chain.invoke for each topic. I don't want to do that. Instead, this entire list of topics is directly given to the chain in the batch mode. So automatically the prompt template will pick one topic, give it to the LLM, output gives to the parser, and the output will be saved. Fine. And that for loop is automatically handled by the LangChain. You don't have to create any for loop. That is the beauty of the batch mode. Okay. So here a simple example is there, the user query. Now let's say the query is explain generative AI in one line. So that instruction goes as the prompt template. So can you see this mapping? That's what is happening here. Okay, so this is the query. This is the key, or you can see the, yeah, let's use the right word. This is the key, okay, or placeholder, and the prompt text takes that key, okay, and that prompt text I'm using in the prompt template. So the template is chat prompt template from template. So this is where I'm actually creating that prompt template. So this is the actual prompt template, and you're creating by using the from template method of the chat prompt template. So this is the class. There are many prompt template classes that you see. So you have a separate prompt template for zero shot classification, or let's say zero shot prompting, few shot prompting, chain of thought prompting. You have different prompt templates altogether. Okay, those classes are different. That's what. So each of those prompt design patterns are available in LangChain as separate classes. You just have to import the right class of the prompt template, use the built-in method, and then create a prompt template. So that prompt template is now chained. This is how you chain it. Okay. So A gets chained with B. So A is one step, B is one step, and the chaining happens via this vertical pipe. So that is as simple as that. So you are chaining it to the LLM. So basically means the prompt is being chained with the LLM. So automatically the prompt will be fed to the LLM and the LLM's response will go as the. So this chain gets executed when you invoke it. So this goes into the query here. This query goes into the prompt template. You get the prompt template and then the prompt template goes into the chain. So that is a typical flow. Okay. Now there can be more complicated chains like router chain. Those things we normally use it while creating agents. So as of now, a simple example is, or also you can use a router chain to create RAG system. So for example, you asked something to the RAG system and the initial user query goes to the router chain. So router chain decides whether to use the web search tool or to use the retrieval tool from the knowledge base. If the user is asking any random question, but the system instruction says that you have to answer it, whatever the user is asking. Okay. Router chain knows exactly what the knowledge base is all about. Let's say it is all about cricket and you are asking a question about politics. So router chain says, okay, I'll answer you, but I'll have to fetch the information from web. Okay, I'll not be able to answer from the knowledge base, let's say. So router chain decides exactly. It's like a decider chain so that it will pass that user query to the according, chain below it. So that's what you are chaining multiple chains. The router chain decides which chain will be finally invoked to get the final output. So if you see here, I'm also using some chain. So this is one chain. This is one chain. This is another chain. So which chain will be used will be decided by the router chain. Okay. And in fact, let's say the knowledge base has got half of the information and the user is requesting complete information. What about the other half? Other half can still be searched. So the output of the two chains can also be merged as the final output. That is also possible. Okay, so let me connect and start. I don't need a GPU, so whatever gets allocated, it's fine. Now there are version numbers. In case you want to run it under some closed environment, then the version numbers might be important. But for now, I have just commented out. So I'm just going to install LangChain and OpenAI. Let me execute this. Okay. And then this asking for the OpenAI key. So you can copy and enter that key, assign it to the environment variable. And then I'm calling the chat OpenAI. Okay. So this is my chat model anyway. This is my chat model. I'm providing a model name and some temperature. Fine. So from LangChain core prompts. So the chat prompt template is a part of prompts module within the LangChain core. Same prompt text, exactly whatever you saw in the slide. The same thing I'm implementing here. So the chain gets formatted. So see here, ultimately you are separating the prompt template from the LLM via this vertical pipe. So this vertical pipe is basically the character you get above the enter button. Okay. And let's see the output. Let me create that chain and let me invoke the output. Explain the difference between AI agents and agentic AI in short. And I'm getting AI agents refer to the software programs or systems designed to perform specific tasks autonomously or semi-autonomously, often using algorithms and machine learning to make decisions based on data. They operate with defined parameters and typically focused on particular applications like chatbots, recommendation systems, or automated trading systems. Fine. Agentic AI, on the other hand, refers to a more advanced concept in AI systems, possess a degree of autonomy and decision-making capabilities that allow them to act independently in complex environments. Okay, you can just read this out. Later on, we'll discuss anyway. So summary, while AI agents are task-specific and operate within set boundaries, AI agent embodies a high level of autonomy and is suitable for more complex interactions and decision-making. Perfect. Okay.
So that's a wrap on today's video. We have covered LCEL and how it's designed to make your AI pipeline smarter, simpler, and more scalable. So whether you are dealing with prompt templates, chaining components, or transforming outputs, LCEL is here to streamline the process, allowing you to build powerful AI applications more efficiently. And as mentioned earlier, we have an upcoming free masterclass on AI and machine learning, data science, generative AI, and agentic AI. So don't miss out on this golden opportunity. Make sure to register through the link in the description below. And I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to check out our previous videos right over here.